Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, let me give you guys my thoughts and opinions on Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. It was a couple of days ago where Terence Crawford called out Errol Spence on Twitter. He was really going at him, man, sending him all these tweets saying, you know, why is this fight not being made? What's your excuse now? You told me to pick up a title. I've got one. You know, now you're telling me that I need to cross the side of the street. And he was really going at it. You know, he was going at it with some Errol Spence fans as well, saying that, you know, he doesn't need to switch promoters for this particular fight to be made. He just wants it to be done. And on evidence, when you look at it, maybe he doesn't have to switch promoters when you look at the fact that Top Rank and the PBC are working together for two of their biggest stars to fight each other. That is, of course, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. They're doing a cross-promotion, so it will be shown on both platforms, and they're working together in that sense. So what Terence Crawford is alluding to is that, look, I don't have to be on the PBC to fight these guys. I want to fight them. What's the hold up? And he was tweeting Errol Spence, and Errol Spence replied, said that he's still down for making the fight happen. It has to be said that Terence Crawford did say that when Errol Spence gets better, because obviously we know he's recovering from that car crash accident that he had a couple of months ago. But yeah, Terence Crawford was sticking it on him, man, putting the heat on Errol Spence, saying, look, let's fight. When you get better, let's make it happen. And it got to the point where these two guys were tweeting each other so much, Errol Spence was like, look, let's call each other and talk about it. I'm guessing that they had the phone call because Terence Crawford then tweeted a bit later on saying that, you know, Errol Spence is a good guy. I'm sure that this fight's going to happen. So whatever they said to each other over the phone, I'm guessing it was a good conversation and, you know, looking like this fight will be made. So that's good. That's what we want to see, man. And me as a boxing fan looking at it, I thought it was great seeing these two guys interact, talking about why the fight's not happening and then settling it with a phone call. You know, it wasn't no back forth, slinging, like shouting, slanging match at each other. They were being respectful and, you know, they both want the fight to happen. So at this stage, I don't think anyone's ducking the fight. I think that both fighters definitely want it. The promoters and everybody else, I'm sure that they're going to want to try and build it as much as they can. But listen, as we've seen over the last few years, there's only so much building you can do without the fight being ruined. You know, like maybe someone will take a loss along the way. That always can happen in boxing, and we've seen it happen many times. Look at, for example, the Charlos, Jamel Charlo, who was supposed to fight Jared Hurd. Supposed to fight Jared Hurd last year, and then he lost to, well, no, it was actually the year before, sorry. The year before, he was supposed to fight Jared Hurd. He lost to Tony Harrison. Then Jared Hurd lost to Julian Williams, and now no one's talking about that fight. So that's just an example. I got there in the end, but with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, it's the same sort of thing. Like, these guys need to fight each other as soon as they can. I know Errol Spence is recovering now, so that's pushed it back to at least 2021. But we want to see this fight happen. And for me, I just want to see Terence Crawford fight somebody over at the PBC now. I think that he needs to. He's in his prime already. He's in his 30s. And he's not going to be in his prime for that much longer. So for somebody that's one of the top fighters in the world, not just in the division, but in the whole world, I want to see Terence Crawford fight these guys. So I think it's good that him and Errol Spence had the conversation. I think it's positive that Top Rank and PBC are working together, because that tells me that they can work together for Terence Crawford fights as well. Sean Porter has called out Terence Crawford. He wants that fight. So I don't see why that fight can't be made for this year. I don't see why it can't be made at all. So I'm hoping that we see that in this year. I'm hoping that we see Errol Spence have a comeback fight in summer, as he says it will be. And yeah, maybe down the line we'll get to see these two fight. But it's a fantastic fight, and I just really would love to see it. I think that these two guys will complement each other in the ring. It would be such a great fight for us all to see. Both of them undefeated, both of them champions, and it would really establish who the number one is at welterweight, no doubt about it. I know Manny Pacquiao is still floating around in there, but the top two at welterweight for sure are Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. So let's hope that that fight eventually gets made. But in the meantime, man, Terence Crawford can still go over and fight at the PBC while Errol Spence waits to heal up. I mean, there's plenty of guys over there he could fight. Manny Pacquiao, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, you know, Ugas. There's loads of guys that Crawford could fight. So let's see it happening now. 2020 is the year, man. We've seen Crawford fight the likes of Amir Khan and the Mean Machine. But in all due respects to those guys, they're not the type of guys we want to see Crawford fight right now. We want to see him take on the best of the division. And to be fair, Crawford wants it. You know, he's calling for it and he's not holding back on it. So I hope it gets made for this year, man. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who you'd like to see Terence Crawford fight this year, like who's on the shortlist. Could he fight Kell Brook, who's fighting in February? He's said that he wanted to fight Terence Crawford. That's a possibility, but I know Bob Arum hasn't really been too keen on that fight. I don't think he really rates Kell Brook's chances at all or what he's got left. So maybe if Kell Brook can look good in his next fight against Mark DeLuca, that might make it more attractive to Bob Arum. But in the meantime, we want to see Crawford fight these top guys, and over the top guys at welterweight, they're all at the PBC. So drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Catch you on the next one.